cinder. And we rolled down to the shore where the big Pacific wind comes a-crashing into California. And every single smile you smile at me, I am photographing. And we skate down to the pier where the mystic Ferris wheel forever spins up over the ocean. I can feel the face of God looking down, and I can hear him laughing. And that is why, that is why, that is why I love you like I do. Even after all the hell that you put me through, ain't nobody in the world can love me like you do. Lucinda, yeah, yeah. Lucinda, Lucinda. And we sing all through the night every love song I could ever write for you, in spite of everything. Everything that still sleeps in our bed of nails down by the marina. We fight all the old fights we've been fighting since the days of the dinosaurs on Venice Beach, who roller skate past our house of cards with my subpoena. That is why, that is why, that is why I love you like I do. Even after all the hell that you put me through, ain't nobody in the world can love me like you do. Lucinda, yeah, yeah. Lucinda, Lucinda. Lucinda, Lucinda. Yeah, yeah. Lucinda, Lucinda. Yeah, yeah. Thank you. Thank you. That's Neil Rosengarten right there. He's playing many instruments because he knows all the instruments, actually. Most of my friends who play music just play one or two at the most, but he... I'm going to do a song by Tom Waits. You guys know Tom Waits? My friend Nate is here, and Jeff, and they do these great shows at Brennan's, and we did a Tom Waits night there, and we've done one here. And it's great to play Waits here because there's a piano, you know? And it was funny, I was rehearsing with my friend Paula, who's going to sing with us, Paula McMath, and my piano at home is out of tune. But it's been out of tune for so long, I'm used to it. So when I play on a normal piano, it sounds exalted to me. It's just amazing. But I said to Paula, I'm sorry about the piano, and she said, no, it sounds very Tom Waits. So that's a good thing. I first came to Hollywood from New York. Wasn't sure if it was the right place to be, and I was working at a recording studio at Sunset in Cahuenga, which is still there, actually. Now there's an Amoeba across the street. It wasn't there before. It used to be City Thai. You probably remember City Thai, right? But I wasn't sure if Hollywood was the right place to be, and I was walking down Cahuenga singing Broken Bicycles, a beautiful song by Tom Waits. And there at the newsstand is Mr. Waits himself. And I said, hey, Tom, that song Broken Bicycles, man, that's good. And he goes, oh, thanks, man. And from that moment on, I thought, I love Hollywood. That was God speaking to me through Tom Waits. And since then, I've met many people who have written my favorite songs. And to me, there's nothing more magical than that. strangers round a coffee urn tonight. All the gypsy hacks and insomniacs. Now the paper's been read. Now the waitress said eggs and sausage, a side of toast, coffee and a roll, hash browns over easy, chili in a bowl, burgers and fries. Now, what kind of pie? It's a graveyard charade, late night masquerade. It's 2 for a quarter, a dime for a dance. And Woolworth's the rhinestone, diamond earrings and a sideway glance. Now the register rings. Now the waitress, she sings eggs and sausage and a side of toast, coffee and a roll, hash browns over easy, chili in a bowl, burgers and fries. What kind of pie? Now the classified section offers no direction. It's a cold caffeine and a nicotine cloud. The touch of your fingers still lingers in my memory. I've been 86 from your scheme. Now I'm in a melodramatic nocturnal scene. Now I'm a refugee from a disconcerted affair. Now the lead pan morning calls, and the waitress calls eggs and sausage, a side of toast, coffee and a roll, hash browns over easy, chili in a bowl, burgers and fries. Now, what kind of pies? What kind of pie? Thank you. Thank you very much. It's Neil Rosengarten. Huh? You want me to? Neil wanted me to resolve that. There, thank you. You're welcome. I want, there's more coming. I wanted to. Okay. Well, I'm going to do a song now. I'm very excited that this year, actually, is a big year for me. I have 2 books coming out. A book I just wrote with Dave Stewart just came out, and it's called Sweet Dreams Are Made of This. In case you don't know who he is, we put that in. He's the guy that was next to Annie Lennox on all those Eurythmics shows. He's pretty great. And he uses the word knackered a lot when we would do it. Like Annie and I were knackered for a week, which means exhausted, but our transcriber always thought that was naked. So we had a lot of Annie and I were naked for a month after we toured. It seemed odd, and I told Dave that, and he said, let's leave that in. And also my book, Songwriters on Songwriting, Volume 2, comes out in October. Yeah. Yeah, it's going to be, these are humble brags, aren't they? Yeah, we're talking about humble brags. Yeah, I'm all right. 2 books, yeah, that's pretty good. Yeah. But also, I'm very proud. I wrote a whole album with Daryl Purpose that's coming out in April. It's called Still the Birds. And Daryl said to me, maybe for the next one, because we've written a few songs on each of his albums, maybe we should write all the songs on the next album. And as soon as he said that to me, I just grabbed that like a bone, you know, and I wouldn't let go of that. So I just started sending him lyrics every few weeks, whether he wanted. And Colleen's here. Daryl does a great camp in Nederland, Colorado, which he basically set up just because he wants people to come to Nederland and see how cool it is. But you probably already knew that. But Colleen Crossan is here, is an amazing singer. And her husband's a great piano player, Mark Sloniker, right? Did I get the name right? That's good. If you're going to give a shout out to get the name right. So this song is from that album, and it's called The Meaning of My Love. And sometimes some of the lyrics I'd send Daryl, he wouldn't use for one reason or another. Like I wrote a whole song about Elvis Presley, and he said, I got to tell you, I don't dig Elvis. You know, I still love the guy. He doesn't dig Elvis. So, you know, I wrote that one myself because it's Elvis. You know, he matters. He's the king. But anyway, this one is called The Meaning of My Love, and I wrote it kind of thinking of this country singer I used to date years ago. I kind of started back then. And some of it is kind of mean-spirited, but every chorus ends with, but I love her so. And so Daryl didn't want to sing kind of the mean line, so they did it as a duet with Eliza Gilkison. And so she sings the meanest lines, but I'm going to sing the whole thing. They did it as kind of a fast country song, but it's slower. And this country singer, she's from here, and she'd never been out of California. So there's a line, the only coast she knows is west. And I told her I was from Chicago, and she goes, yeah, Chicago, I know that. That's East Coast, right? And I go, actually, no, it's not. And then she argued with me. She goes, no, I'm pretty sure it's on the East Coast. I mean, not only was she wrong, but she's arguing with me. I said, I'm from there, and we had maps, and it's a big giant lake right in the middle, or right on that big lake, so. But there's also a line about she's wrapped up in foil, and that was about another woman I met when I first came to Hollywood, and she once asked me if I could wrap her up. It was actually not foil, it was saran wrap. And she was a model, and she was already very skinny, but she heard if you wrap up in saran wrap like for 6 hours, you can lose some weight. So I had to wrap her up from head to toe and then prop her up to look at her fashion magazines. Huh? She stayed fresh, yeah. It sounds like I would have had more fun, but it wasn't really that fun. But then she finally, her big goal in life was to be a cover model, be on a cover of a magazine. It finally came true, but it was a magazine just about feet. It was just a cover photo of her feet. But still, So that's a romantic story, huh? So this is called The Meaning of My Love. I'm very happy my friend Paula McMath is here, who's going to sing it. You can pull that mic back.
Sure.
Yeah. You got that, Matt? We got Matt here doing sound. Yeah. Matt, like me and Paul Kulak, are from Chicago. And that's a good place. And there's
Gotcha.
Paula. Paula's from Canada.
I am.
Which is outside of America, isn't
It
that right?
is. It's got an East Coast and a West Coast.
Wow.
I know.
That's
And
great.
even North Coast, I guess.
She's a really wonderful songwriter, too. And but I'm so happy she's singing, so thank you. She forgets such simple things, cowboy boots and angel wings, the trellis where my memory sings. But I love her so. She's so deep inside the mire, wrapped up in foil and chicken wire. She's gotta be the world's worst liar, but I love her so. But I love her so. Better angels fly above the human things we're all made of. Honey, don't you know anything about the meaning of my love? is black, the grass is brown. She stands me up when I am down and leaves me cold in this cartoon town. But I love her so. There's nothing ventured, nothing gained, nothing broken, only spring. She's sketchy and so scatterbrained, but I love her so. But I love her so. Better angels fly above the human things we're all made of. Honey, don't you know anything about the meaning of my love? My love, my love, my love. She is sunshine, she is shade. She's sweet and sour like lemonade, and she thinks moonlight's too retrograde. But I love her so. She never fell far from the nest. The only coast she knows is west. She is shallow and so self-obsessed, but I love her so. But I love her so. Better angels fly above the human things we're all made of. Honey, don't you know anything about the meaning of my love? My love, yeah. Better angels fly above the human things we're all made of. Honey, don't you know anything about the meaning? Anything about the meaning? Anything about the meaning of my love? My love, my love. Paula McMath, Neil Rosenberg. Thank you very much. We got a big crowd here at Kulak. Jeannie Willits is here. Deborah's here. I'm so glad Deborah's here. Should mention everyone if you left out. James Lee Stanley is here, one of our most beloved singer-songwriters right there. We got an email. I tell my friends, I got people watching all over. We got an email. It's really the reason I play at Kulak, is so Michelle can watch, because I just love her. So I'm going to bring up Earl Grey. Earl, are you in the house? Earl Grey is here. Earl and Neil are members of the Zollo band. We're playing some of my songs. He's like, what are we playing? What do you feel like? We're going to do Dandelion.
We have drums or bass, so I'll play acoustic.
They should play bongos or drums on this, okay? Bongos is cool. So it's great. These digital tuners are great because not only can you tune, but you can check your email while you're doing that, which I like. And Facebook. Just accepted another friend. I never say no. I know a lot of people are smart and they actually find out, like, that person has 0 friends and no friends in common, which seems like mathematically impossible at this point. And her name is not even something I can recognize. She's a friend. I say yes, you know, and then the next day you get really strange things on you. Okay, it's Earl Grey. This is called Dandelion. To hear the drums. Fly downtown with your silver-toned crown and your Panama hat, dreaming of the palace of Versailles when your world is a laundromat. 16 tons in the rhododendron garden of your vanity, going down, 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 down to the bottom of the boundless sea. Singing, shine, shine, dandelion, with your heart of gold. Looking for somewhere that's warm in a world so old and cold. Every day is a tightrope walk along a razor wire. Shine, shine, dandelion, light the night on fire, fire. Light the night on fire. He testifies like John the Revelator in the Texas heat, looking for a dude he can trust in the dust of old Willow Street. Everywhere is gone but the fingertips of dawn on St. Lucy's lips, going down, down, down to the bottom with the shipwrecked ships, singing, shine, shine, dandelion, with your heart of gold. Looking for somewhere that's warm in a world so old and cold. World so every day is a tightrope walk along the razor wire. Shine, shine, dandelion, light the night on fire, fire, fire. Light the night on fire. And relax and fax your resume to the Institute of Destitution and Decay. And whenever a beginner hope gets busted and thrown away, that's when we turn to things eternal that God won't ever throw away. Away, 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 away in a box for a rainy day. Texas house of prayer, down New Orleans street. He soaked his bed in a rye to sleep through July and the August heat. Everywhere is gone but the fingertips of dawn. And when his house burned down, he lived in the ruins for eternity, singing, shine, shine, dandelion, with your heart of gold. Looking for somewhere that's warm in a world so old, and cold in a world so old. Every day is a tightrope, walk along a razor wire. Shine, shine, dandelion, light the night on fire, fire, fire. Light the night on fire. Come on and light the night on fire, on fire, fire. It's early G. It's got a little alien there. This is a song I wrote for my son. It's called Bow and Arrow. So we're singing Dylan songs. I'm talking like Dylan. This is a song I wrote for my son. And it's called Bow and Arrow. My son it's good to have a son, especially a 16-year-old son, because he keeps me humble. There's a line about your love keeps me humble. I remember years ago, when they found Saddam Hussein in the hole? And there's a lovely picture of him on the cover of Time magazine. Let me have to turn this down for a second. There's that picture of Saddam on Time magazine when he just got out of the hole, looking really terrible. I mean, he didn't look great to begin with, but after being in a hole for a long time, and my son, who was 6, looked at it. He goes, that looks like Daddy. I look like Saddam Hussein after he's been in a hole for a long time. That's a good one. And I often talk about songwriting because I'm a big expert. Like Dan and I said, we're song guys, me and Dan, you know. And I was going to go talk in front of a group, and Josh was there, and he goes, Dad, nobody wants to hear you talk. Trust me. It's so dull. It's good for you to hear that. So this song's for him. He's not here. He used to come to everything I did. He used to come to all these shows, but he realizes, as you will in life, that there's actually more exciting things than what I'm doing, what his dad's doing. Hard to believe. So this is called Bow and Arrow. Showdown with the... Hey, Lisa's here. You come up and sing on this one? I just remember Lisa Johnson. Lisa's a member of the Zollo band, too. But we don't announce that she's here, or there could be bedlam. Showdown with a priest and a priestess stolen from their homeland to harvest sugar cane. In the rain and the blazing sun, they run from the chains of the old plantation. Skullbone shadow falls on the red clay for the birth of their new American dream. I hear screams of a baby being born in the heartland of our nation. Sometimes I can't help but stumble when I walk the straight and narrow. Your love is gonna keep me humble. Help me aim my bow and arrow. Help me aim my bow and arrow. Yeah. And to a man with a hammer, every problem in the world becomes a nail that he needs to pound in the ground of the broken bones. 16 arrows in a quiver strapped to my back, and the song of a new generation sung by my son on the banks of the riverside. We glide just two in a blue canoe. We break through the wake of the pontoon. Sometimes I can't help but stumble when I walk the straight and narrow. Your love is gonna keep me humble. Help me to aim my bow and arrow. Help me, my bow and arrow. Yeah, yeah. Sundown on the shallow riverbed, forsaken graves like unmade beds, and arrowheads of Bible black obsidian that gleam in turquoise streams of sagebrush and silver bells and shotgun shells. All along the Perkins Highway, father and son, standing on a wishbone bridge, skipping stones over charcoal water. Amber light of a lantern is shimmering just underneath the surface of the water. You can see a school of fish go flashing by and by, and a measure of unchained grace and the promise of peace in our lives. Sometimes I can't help but stumble when I walk the straight and narrow. Your love is gonna keep me humble. Help me aim my bow and arrow. Help me aim my bow and arrow. Yeah, yeah. Sometimes I can't help but stumble when I walk the straight and narrow, but your love will keep me humble and help me aim my bow and arrow. Help me aim my bow and arrow. Yeah, yeah. Thank you. It's Lisa Johnson. All right. She's going to be back, hopefully. Well, this is another song from Daryl's new album. This is a song inspired by Dylan Thomas. I mean, Bob Dylan took his name, so I figured you could do a whole song about it. It's called Prince of the Apple Towns. And, you ready? Over songs of saints and martyrs.
There we go.
Yeah,
Okay.
does that matter?
Got it. I got it.
Over songs of saints and martyrs, from Swansea to Cremlin Bar. He's been alive 1,000 years, with eyes of seeing far. Down the green and golden pathways, among horses and cows, a huntsman and a herdsman under the apple bough. In our songs of salt and barley, in our temporary crowns, in the sun that's young once only, Prince of the Apple Towns, Prince of the Apple Towns. Famous among the foxes, with songs carved out of soul, where the children of the harvest and spellbound horses low, and in the shadows of the mumbles he ran his heedless ways, tipsy from salvation's bottle on the fields of praise. In our songs of salt and barley, in our temporary crown, in the sun that's young once only, Prince of the Apple Town, Prince of the Apple Town. In a song of New York City, in the winter windfall light, at the old White Horse Tavern, he sang the sun in flight. A boy as mad as birds, and after the birth of simple light, in his cups, and all alone into the night. Where his heart is still a bird's nest, in a three-piece suit of spades, and the moon is always rising over hummingbird parades. Swansea bells keep ringing, unbound by gravity, in his chains forever singing like the sea. In our songs of salt and barley, in our temporary crown, in the sun that's young once only, Prince of the Apple Town, Prince of the Apple Town. In our songs of salt and barley, in our temporary crowns, in the sun that's young once only, Prince of the Apple Town, Prince of the Apple Town. Thank you. Yeah, on Daryl's album, we actually have that song and a song about Edgar Allan Poe, too. Because I have my finger on the pulse of what the kids think about these. Dead poets is basically what everyone wants. So I deliver. Okay. Well, this is a song. I don't know if you guys feel this, but sometimes this is called Alive and Kickin'. B minor. Yeah, you got it? B minor. Sometimes I'm kind of stuck working, and I'll be on Facebook, and I'll see friends like all over the world in Amsterdam or Paris, and I want to be happy for them, but I'm just not. I'm just feeling like, no, I don't want to see that. And they keep sending many, they keep posting many photos, Florence. Isn't Florence beautiful? Yeah, it's beautiful. Okay, enough already. I'm not there. That's small. I'm sorry. So it appeals to certain kinds of sense of humor, not everyone. But so this started as a joke, really, this song. But like a lot of my songs, I find I joke myself into writing them. So this is called Alive and Kickin'. By the way, if you're watching at home, you got to email in, or I won't believe you were actually watching. I'm just telling you, you right there. I have a good friend in Atlanta. She could have fallen asleep by now. She better not have, though. And friends in Chicago and
Atlantis too. Don't forget.
In Atlantis.
Friends in Atlantis.
Do you have friends in Atlantis?
I think I might.
I wouldn't be surprised if anyone knows someone in Atlantis.
There's a Donovan song in there somewhere.
Love Donovan.
Yeah.
I was doing a documentary called Legends of the Canyon about Laurel Canyon, and we got to interview Donovan's ex-wife, the mother of his children, and I said, I got to tell you, I love your ex-husband, Donovan. She goes, I'm glad you do, because he's a mother Walked out on his kids. And, no one. Everyone said to me, "Oh, you didn't mention Donovan to her, did you?" She warned me before I did. You got to be careful what you say to ex-wives, you know, in Hollywood. So this is what are we doing? Oh yeah, this is called Alive and Kicking. My friend Martha, gonna go to Venice. She's gonna ride a gondola, maybe drink some wine. My friend Martha, she's gonna go to Venice. And I'll be hanging here with all of these old shirts on the clothesline. My friend Henry is gonna go to Amsterdam. He's gonna check out some museums, maybe get some rest. My friend Henry is gonna smoke some marijuana. I'll be hanging here with all of these old crows in the crow's nest. Day, everything seems to be clicking. Fine, fine day, just to be alive, just to be alive, and kicking, alive and kicking. Kicking all of my bad habits, every wrong move I ever made. When the world would give me lemons, I drank gin and lemonade, gin and lemonade. My friend Whitney was gonna go to Barstow. He was gonna go to Barstow just to see his mom. But he checked out and he left a note on the pillow. Said, I hope you'll tether my remains to a time bomb. And it's a fine, fine day. Everything seems to be clicking. A fine, fine day. Just to be alive. Just to be alive. And kicking. Alive and kicking. It's a fine, fine day. Everything seems to be clicking. A fine, fine day. Just to be alive. Just to be alive. Alive, be alive and kicking. Alive and kicking. Alive and kicking. Alive and kicking. We're going to do a couple more, and then Dan BERN is going to join me up here. We might do a song by a guy named Dylan, maybe. It's still a secret, but you want to come up here? Lisa's here. We got 2 more emails. All right.
Ooh, are you going to do that next? I have to switch guitar boxes here.
Okay, show me the email. Show me the email. Here it comes. It's really good at 16 minutes. I will not read it once. Okay, greetings from Montreal. Montreal. And I said, great show. And from Montreal. That's in another country. Is that all it is? Canada?
Montreal is.
That's a giant country.
It's like Russia, isn't it? Montreal. Hi, Nikki. Patrick.
It's typical. If there's something negative to find, I'll find it. Like, who's not watching? Well, this is a song I wrote when I lived in Hollywood, and my next door neighbor was named Valina. And you know, when you live right next to someone, you kind of pay attention to their life. And so I wrote this song called Valina's Lights, knowing when her lights were on and off. And
Oh, you need me to switch boxes real quick here.
okay.
I'm going to go through the amp for this one.
Okay, Errol. So I wrote the song called Valina's Lights, and I told my wife I was going to play it for Valina, and she goes, you know, maybe not. She might think it's very creepy. Creepy can be good. There's a lot of good creepy songs, right? This is a G minor. You should maybe play melodica. Unless you feel like something else. That's a melodica, by the way. Sorry, I turned it up a little bit. Who will be there when she has to go away? Who will be there when there are no more words to say? Who will be there through the long winter nights to turn on Valina's lights? Turn on Valina's lights. And I've seen her waiting out 1,000 thunderstorms, parked in her old Oldsmobile while the engine warmed. As I burn like lightning over fields of flying kites, to turn on Valina's lights, to turn on Valina's lights. And Valina lives in an old house next door to mine. And every day we are connected by the same electric line. And I watch her through the bougainvillea from my balcony, through a cavalcade of stars, between Mars and Mercury, through a cavalcade of stars, between Mars and Mercury. there when the yellow leaves start turning brown? Who will be there when love comes to her hometown? And I walk through these raindrops with these ghosts and water sprouts to turn on Valina's light, to turn on Valina's light. And I've seen the archangels gathering around her. Her faith is fundamental and her heart is pure. And I would climb mountains even with my fear of heights, just to turn on Valina's light, to turn on Valina's light. Valina lives in an old house next door to mine. Every day we are connected to the same electric line. I watch her through the bougainvillea from my balcony, through a cavalcade of stars between Mars and Mercury, through a cavalcade of stars between Mars and Mercury. Between Mars between Mars and Mercury. Between Mars and Mercury. All right. Thank you. That's Lisa Johnson. That's Earl Grey. Neil Rosengarten. Well, is Dan here? Okay, well, we got time for one more quick one, and then we're going to bring up the great Dan BERN. By the way, well, I'll talk about that later. So this is another one I wrote with Daryl. This is called Orange Raincoat. This was on his last album. Are you comfortable already? Don't sit down yet. We got a good seat in the front. I can't read my writing either. I want to thank all of you who are here with us, and those of you tuning in. You got an email, so we believe you. Okay, this is called Orange Raincoat. I want to thank Paul and McMath for being here too. Thanks, Paul. Born and raised in Elizabethtown, inside a song of Kentucky, high school dropout skating around. I can't help it if I'm unlucky. Unopened envelopes and magazines, pajamas, plaid and flannel, a 10-inch Zenith, black and white, only gets one channel, yeah. And I'm an orange raincoat walking when the rain starts coming down. I'm an orange raincoat walking through a blue umbrella town. Bored to tears in Elizabethtown, enduring dark days undaunted. I got nothing to do but to circle around. all the places we once haunted. You with your patchouli and pepper spray, going on your auditions. You every blue Kentucky day with all your superstitions. And I'm an orange raincoat walking when the rain starts coming down. I'm an orange raincoat walking through a blue umbrella town. Blue frisbees stuck up on the roof, blue Pinto parked out on the lawn. And every night I search for proof, but every night you're still so gone, gone, gone. Every night you're still so gone. And all around old E-Town I see umbrellas torn and tattered, all the places we got high. Way back when our world still mattered, we used to cross the Rubicon when it ran through Kentucky. But ever since you've been so gone, I haven't felt so lucky. And I'm an orange raincoat walking when the rain starts coming down. I'm an orange raincoat walking through a blue umbrella town. I'm an orange raincoat walking when the rain starts coming down. I'm an orange raincoat walking through a blue umbrella town. Blue umbrella town. Thank you very much. Lisa Johnson, Earl Grey. That's Neil Rosengarten.
Paul Zollo.
Thank you. Thank you. Got to get the lines here. I got. Yeah, that's a good idea. Who suggested that? James Lee Stanley. We're going to pass this around. We're asking for a $10 donation, but if you're feeling generous, keep this place alive. It's amazing what Paul Kulak does. My dad, the only time he ever saw me play with a band was seeing YouTubes from here. And so I'm really grateful to Mr. Kulak for keeping this place alive. It's a wonderful place for live music and a live webcast. Ah, the email, good. Bernstein. What time is it in there? It's 4:32. Okay, let's run the next one. 9 hours. From Marie Lee. Hi, Paul. Thank you. Hi, Paul. It's Earl. And Sweet Marie from Gore, Oklahoma. You sound alive in the kitchen. Why are you paying attention to this? There's Amy Linton and Anna. I can't believe you were watching. I'm glad you're there. Hi, Paul and company. Everyone sounds great here on the real East Coast. Kulak Street is always so beautiful and sounds so good. It's always a pleasure to hear from you. And to hear you play piano is always a treat. I love this one. That's not an actor. Stay up to the end. Even though I'm the actor, not making. Well done, Earl, Lisa, and Neil, too, from AC. Well, is there another one? I'm sorry.
Terry. August. It's August. It's Terry. August.
So Dan Byrne did my holiday song here, and he said to me, "Hey, maybe we should do a whole show together." Okay, I kept emailing until we got this together. But recently, Dan and I already met back in the '80s when we were both playing the Acoustic Underground, which I used to run, and Earl Grey was on there. Lisa, you played in that, didn't you? Well, you should have if you didn't. I'm sorry if we didn't put you on. You know, another Dan used to play in there, and he wasn't that great. And he said, "I'm leaving town, and I'm going to go write a book." And I thought, I'll never hear from this guy again. It was Dan Brown. He then wrote the Da Vinci Code, the biggest book since the Bible, actually, I think.
I didn't know that.
Yeah, Dan Brown. And but me and Dan Byrne recently got bonded again because we found out that because of Dan Byrne, Bob Dylan got pissed off at me. Years ago, you know, I did a big Dylan interview in Song Talk magazine. I was editor of that, the Journal of the National Academy of Songwriters. And we did a 12-page spread to Bob Dylan because, as you guys might know, he's an excellent songwriter. And we were very happy I got to interview him at the Beverly Hills Hotel in a bungalow of all places. And but Dan Byrne used to do a humor column. And he wrote a column that was just supposing the idea that it was a joke, it was meant to be a joke, that Bob Dylan didn't write any of his songs, but his mother, Beattie, actually wrote all his songs, except for one, Man Gave Names to All the Animals. Bob wrote that, but Beattie wrote every... Dylan apparently found this, he found this 6 years after it came out in a hotel room in Tokyo, so he wrote a long fax. And he was really pissed at me that someone like me who pretended to be grateful would make fun of his sainted mother in Song Talk. And he called me the limp Monsieur Zollo. Limp. But then he referred to Dan Byrne as some wretch, some scurrilous wretch with a hard-on for comedy. So Dan had a hard-on and I was limp, according to Mr. Dylan. It still bothers me a lot, But, you know, it's caused Dan and I to bond even more. So we're going to do a song by Bob Dylan. This is a song he wrote called Isis. And I guess there's some other Isis going on now. And some people say, you know, you can't do that song anymore. But we're going to do it. Dan, you want to sing this with me? It's Dan Byrne. We got Adam who's going to play drums. What's Adam's last name?
He wants a ghost of electricity.
Adam Bush? Adam Bush. Is he the Smart Bush brother? We used to think there was one Smart Bush brother. We found out no, actually there's not. You see, these years from now, you know, it'll be rooted in today's politics, in which Trump actually took on the Pope. He's like, who is this guy to be insulting me? He's actually the Pope, you know. There's some people you're not supposed to attack if you want to be president, but. So, hey, there's walls around the Vatican. Okay, we can put walls around America. It's a good idea. I do think that's great in the 21st century with all our beautiful technology. His solution is a wall. No, that's not really brand new technology, walls. So. called Isis. Dylan said this is a song about marriage. This is Dan BERN.
I'm married, I said, on the 5th day of May, but I could not hold on to her very long. So I cut off my hair and I rode straight away to the wild unknown country where I could not go wrong. But I came to a high place, darkness and light. The dividing line ran through the center of town. Well, I hitched up my pony and I brought for the ride. Came into the laundry and I washed my clothes down.
A man in the corner, he approached me for a match. I knew right away he was not ordinary. He said, "Are you looking for something easy to catch?" I said, "I got no money." He said, "That ain't necessary."
Set out at night for the cold and the north. And I gave him my blanket and he gave me his word. I said, "Where we going?" He said, "We'll be back by the 4th." I said, "That's the best news that I've ever heard."
I was thinking about turquoise, I was thinking about gold, I was thinking about diamonds and the world's biggest necklace. When she rode through the canyon, through the devilish cold, I was thinking about Isis, how she thought I was so reckless.
She told me that one day we would meet up again, and things would be different the next time we met. Well, if I wait any longer, I'll come back, and you know, and I know what happens next.
We came to the pyramids all embedded in ice. He said, "There's a body I'm trying to find. If you carry it out, it'll bring a good price." It was then that I knew what he had on his mind.
The wind, it was howling, and the snow was outrageous. We chopped through the night, and we chopped through the dawn. When he died, I was hoping that it wasn't contagious, but I made up my mind that I had to go on.
Broke into the tomb, but the casket was empty. There were no jewels, no nothing. I felt I'd been had when I saw that my partner was just being friendly, and I took up his offer. I must have been mad.
I broke into the tomb, but the casket was empty. There were no jewels, no nothing. When I felt I'd been had. When I saw that my partner was just being friendly, when I took up his offer, I must have been mad. his body and I dragged it inside. I threw it down in the hall and I put back the cover. I said a quick prayer, then I felt satisfied. Then I rolled back to find ice is just a tower. She was there in the meadow where the creek used to rise, blinded by sleep and in need of a bed. I came in from the east with the sun in my eyes. I cursed her one time, then I rode on ahead. I said, she said, where you been? I said, no place special. She said, you been different. I said, well, I guess. She said, I said, that's right. She said, you're gonna stay. I said, if you want me to, yeah. I said, so wise as you're a mystical child. What drives me to you is what drives me insane. Can't remember the way that you smile on the fair day of May in the drizzle in the rain.
Thank you. Thank you, Bob Dylan, for writing such good songs. We're going to do another one. We only practiced one, but you can't practice everything, right? What are we going to do?
Let's do this one. Everybody knows this one. I ain't got no home, I'm just rambling around, just a wandering worker, I go from town to town. The police make it hard wherever I may go, and I ain't got no home in this world anymore. Sing it! I ain't got no home in this world anymore. You got one? I was farming in my field and always I was poor. My crop I raised up to the banker's store. My wife, she up and died up on the cabin floor, and I ain't got no home in this world anymore. I ain't got no home in this world anymore. As I look around, well, it's mighty plain to see this world is a strange and a funny place to be. The gambling Paul Zollo, Earl Grey, Neil Rosengarten. Maybe we'll be back. Maybe come back, huh?
Please welcome the great Dan BERN.
Well, thank you. Man, that was fun. What's that? Sure. Let's read them. You can be Robin Quivers. You can be my Quivers. Well, the answer is yeah. Where were you? Well, I was